Binge watch and learn on TRS Clips. Protein. Specifically non-veg, veg, vegan.
Good. I love it.
Dairy also put in this category.
I love this topic.
How do we talk about this in a very fast way? I actually don't want to dive too deep because there's a lot of information on YouTube. But what's the 101?
Everybody needs protein. Minimum protein requirement 0.8 gram per kilogram per day. If you are a 60 kilo man or woman is even more important, you need to have 48 to 50 grams of protein per day. And people stay away from protein because they think that too much of protein is going to cause kidney damage. Number one myth is that is not true. For a normal, healthy patient, who's trying to lose weight, if you don't have significant kidney problems, it is not a problem at all. Okay. Then why are we talking about kidney problem? Is when a high protein diet, 1.5 gram per kilogram more than that per day, where your body building and everything. And on the top of it, if you have some kidney issues, then you need to be a little bit careful. Okay.
Sure.
And the last thing would be vegan versus vegetarian versus animal-based protein. From a gastroenterologist standpoint, I can clearly say that if you are plant-based protein diet, your gut bacteria is going to freaking love you.
Really?
They will worship you. They will pour love. Thank you so much for giving me the chana. Thank you so much for giving me this rajma. And in turn, it will give you the immunity that you want to fight against infections.
So you're batting for veganism.
Vegetarianism, plant-based.
What about veganism versus vegetarianism?
Veganism, in my opinion, I have tried it. It was very difficult for me. But there is no much difference between vegan and vegetarian from my opinion.
But then that is what B12 and D3?
D3, yeah. So long-term vegan diet can go down on B12. But that is something that can be corrected. It is not a severe problem to be worried about in terms of treatment-wise. There are easy treatment in case if you go into that.
What is the treatment? Supplements?
B12 supplements, when you go down, 30 days, 60 days, and then you just become conscious about increasing your B12 again through food ingredients. Until then, the problem is in the worst case scenario, if you end up in that bucket, it is very easy to be treated.
Okay. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, basically, when you're going all out vegan, the one thing that out and out is lacking in a vegan diet is B12 and D3.
D3 also not that much. B12 is the main thing.
What does B12 do?
B12 is responsible for your nerves.
Okay,
so you get some tingling sensation, numbness, and peripheral neuropathy where the nerves are getting damaged a little bit. That's why B12 needs that.
Okay.
Your nerves need B12. Yes, that is an issue, but that doesn't happen in all people as well. Animal-based protein, when you do research on mice and animal-based studies, it's a very clear, especially red meat, there is significant disturbance of gut bacteria where this proportion shift towards bad. Beef, pork, mutton, goat, and even sometimes chicken thighs, because chicken thighs are darker. And because they are standing all the time, they need more dark muscle fibers compared to the chicken breast. So the leaner meat is chicken breast, darker meat is chicken thighs. So red meat, you need the gut bacteria digest, and then the protein is called carnitin, and the enzyme is called phosphatidylcholine. So basically what this does is your gut bacteria doesn't like this. I don't want to deal with this at all. So, all the good bacteria says, I don't want to deal with this, you take care of it. So the bad bacteria gets overpopulated. And there is this enzyme called, I'm talking a lot of biochemical thing, but I think it brings the evidence that brings the fact that there's evidence to it, that the chemical called TMAO, okay, and that is being secreted by the gut bacteria in the intestine after consuming red meat, and that gets absorbed into the circulation. If you look at all this keto diet and all these people just eat carnivore diet and everything, there's multiple studies showing that this TMAO is the reason for the heart disease.
Okay.
Right?
So I'm vegetarian.
Good.
Turned vegetarian again in that same phase. Okay. I'm not vegan. Like I eat ghee, I eat paneer. They're my two milk products. But I am going to bat for the non-vegetarians here because I know how a non-vegetarian mind thinks because I have been a non-vegetarian. I think the narrative usually on the non-veg side is also that they'll show their own set of studies that benefit their claim.
Correct.
The vegetarians will show their own set of studies. The vegan will show their own set of studies.
Correct.
It's just how this world of scientific study works.
Correct.
That research can easily be slightly manipulated to kind of bat for your own problem. I've asked a lot of non-vegetarians these questions as well. Again, please correct me wherever you disagree. I would assume that again, because we were hunter-gatherers and because we hunted for so long, didn't our bodies get used to actually eating the meat that we hunted?
See, that's the myth. Coming back to the previous discussion, that we were only successful 1 in 20 times. We were not eating meat every day. People eat complex tubers, wild berries, plants. So we cannot be different from our ancestors. There is no way. We are evolution. We are being the process of evolution. So their diet was mainly plant-based. Look at Hasta. And look at the bacteria in the gut. It's exactly what you will see in a plant-based vegetarian bacteria. Gut bacteria, a person who's eating plant-based diet. Correct? So what I am saying is, I'm not strictly against non-vegetarian. Okay, you need that protein. Sometimes it's very difficult to take protein content through vegetarian also. So I came up with this term for my patients called Palitarian. Dr. Palitarian. So what I do is 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, 21 meals a week. You do 80% plant-based. Okay, which will come around 18 meals plant-based. Remaining 4, you eat chicken, you eat white meat, preferably fish, chicken. Stay away from beef and pork. And the reason I'm saying that is, from a gastroenterologist standpoint, it is very clear that red meat, especially beef and pork, are increased risk of colon cancer. Okay, I know there are multiple refuting studies, but it has been proven beyond doubt that there is some kind of nitrosamine link that it is increasing the risk of colon cancer. That is why I am doing colonoscopies at the age of 50 in US and not in India. And if you look at the data in India, colon cancer is very high in Kerala. Why? They eat beef a lot more than other states.
Wow. Okay. Do you think that the world is going more vegetarian? Keyword more, not vegetarian. I think people, this Hatsa tribe situation, where once in a while you eat non-veg, I see that increasing a lot. People are becoming not fully vegetarian,
Correct.
but non-veg consumption is gradually reducing.
Correct.
At least that's what I see around me. I might be wrong.
No, I think that's the right thing to do. Always extremes will not work. Keto will not work. Pure vegan will not work, because it's very difficult unless you're really committed to it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do this. You can do it if it works for you.
Yeah.
I always go for moderation. I always go for sustainability. I always go for lifelong adoption of this technique. For me, I cannot stay away from non-veg because I love the taste. And spiritually, it can be different evaluation. But in terms of health-wise, this 80-20 Dr. Palitarian method of 18 meals of plant-based, 4 meals of I think it's very doable. This repetitive reinforcement will make them think next time when you order biryani from Swiggy, maybe you'll order paneer biryani.
Okay.
One time.
Okay. In this country, it's very easy to go vegetarian.
Yes.
In our country.
Yes.
I don't know how easy it is to go vegetarian abroad. I have a lot of vegan friends who will tell me, no, now it's easy. There's vegan food everywhere, but doesn't taste that good abroad. Here, it tastes beautiful. You won't even feel like you've missed out on anything.
But the non-veg is even more tastier.
Yeah, 100%. There are... see, okay, you know what vegetarians will never agree with, but I'm telling you this as a non-vegetarian turned vegetarian. The price you pay for leaving non-veg, there's 2 prices. One, I personally believe my athletic power reduced in terms of my ferocity on the football field or my ferocity in the weight room. It reduced a little bit. That's fine. That's a trade-off. The second thing I lost out on was food experiences that you will be giving up. So it's a question of, do you care about the process of going vegetarian more, or do you care about being a foodie more?
Correct.
It boils down to that.
Correct.
And again, my reason for going vegetarian was my spiritual stuff. I fell more in love with animals as I grew older. I lost, my dogs and all that. I saw their death. That made me think a lot, etc. So again, my own subjective reality of life turned me into a vegetarian. But again, as I said with alcohol, your palate changes, your food preferences change. I will not go back to it. I know that. Even if it's in front of me and such good meat has been put in front of me, the kind of meat that I would have died for when I was a non-vegetarian. And there's not even a cell in my body that wants to eat it anymore.
I see. Wow.
Because it doesn't appeal to me.
Wow.
I won't look at it as food.
Wow.
But again, that's my subjective reality. I don't know. Everyone's life is different.
Correct. Being a gastroenterologist, being involved in gut health and everything, it's very clear that gut bacteria is the problem for everything else of what I see. So that made me change easily that our bacteria needs fiber. And fiber, there is no fiber in non-veg at all. There is no fiber. And the only thing fiber can be given is through plant-based diet. And again, coming back to the same discussion, that we respect our gut bacteria will love us back. And if you want to, we talked about raising your kids, right? I'm going to raise my kids exactly the same way that what I'm doing. I will make sure that they have fiber in every meal that they take. If they want to take chicken, it's okay if it is coupled with broccoli. Okay, gotcha. Because fiber is extremely important, and we limit red meat exposure as much as possible. 2 to 3 times a week itself is too much, so that's why we prefer white meat. Fish is, it's much better. Chicken breast is much better.
So TRS Clips has all sorts of videos and all sorts of playlists. Make sure you explore the channel by subscribing and heading to our homepage and reading through all the playlists. Happens through curiosity.